Prepare for Nerdgasm.
Hey, what's up, guys? I went out on a whim today and picked up a Google Nexus 7. If you check out my second vlog, you'll find out why. I woke up pretty much this morning and wanted to hang out with a friend, and next thing you know, we were running all over the place looking for one of these. Completely just one of those random, purchases. Kind of looked interesting. Started out with wanting a Samsung version of this, and then we were like, no, let's get the Google version because it's faster and it's got a better screen, and searched around. But anyways, we ultimately got it. So right now I'm going to do an unboxing for you guys, and we're going to see what's inside of here, and then I'm going to go play around with it for a while before I report back with the second half of this video. So let's go ahead and crack it open and see what's inside. The box is actually pretty small. Got it from Staples for $249. It's the 16 gigabyte version. Comes in a really nice box. Come on, let me in. Oh, there's a piece of tape. I need to grab my scissors. I actually bought scissors just for opening boxes now. See, we're getting pretty professional here at Nerdgasm. Come on. Oh, fail at tape cutting. Alright. Let's open it up. And there she is. First thing you notice when you open the box, all you see is the tablet itself. Pops right out. It's all completely wrapped in nice cellophane. Says Nexus on the back. Looks like it has a volume up, down, one other button, headphone jack, a USB jack, and that's about it. It's actually pretty small. It looks like you could almost put it in your pocket. Oh, hey, look at that. It fits. Looks like I've got yet another device to carry around me. People look at me funny. I should pull this out like it's a phone and be like, yo, what's up? So, I don't know if it's charged right out of the box. I guess we can just fire it up and see. Guessing that's the power button. Maybe not. Oh, there it is. So let's see this thing boot up here. It's actually very comfortable to hold. The weight's not too bad. It's heavier than you'd think for a device this size. Alright, well, we got some animations going on here. Welcome. Alright. Let's see. Let's get on the network. Okay, the first thing I notice is it doesn't look like it supports 5 gigahertz. Because my 5 gigahertz network isn't showing up, just my 2.4 gigahertz. Oh, wait, hold on, I saw some more network showing up. Yes, no 5 gigahertz showing up, so just 2.4 gigahertz. So not really bad. Enter my password here. The keyboard's actually really nice. Okay, we're connected. Obtaining IP address. It looks like the battery, according to the indicator, is about halfway charged out of the box, so I'm definitely going to want to plug this in and charge it. And there we go. I'm connected to Wi-Fi. Do you have a Gmail account? Why, yes I do. Let me go ahead and enter that. Again, the keyboard is actually really good. Get a little clicky noise when you type. I don't know if you guys can hear that. Okay. Signing into my email. It says this can take a few minutes. Hopefully it doesn't. Come on. Alright, join Google Plus. Sure, why not? Just a sec. Contacting Google. Welcome to Google Plus. Picasa. Finish joining Google Plus. Oh, gender. They want to know my gender, huh? Other. No, I'm just kidding. I put male. Backup and restore. Use your Google account to back up your apps and settings. Sure, whatever. Just do it. Your tablet is contacting the Google server to restore your settings. Use Google location. Yeah, I don't care. Whatever. Just go. Setup complete. All right. These are all yours. Okay, so apparently I got some free books or something here. All right, my library. That's pretty cool. Got some apps on here. Chrome. Looks like it works. Let's see if Facebook works. This is actually really cool to type on because it's just the right size to hold on to. The iPad's a little tricky still to type on. Just holding it, it just doesn't feel super comfortable reaching the way that you have to. Hopefully this will be the first Android device I actually like. Because to be honest, I don't like Android devices. I never have. This will be my third one I've purchased, and hopefully not the third one I've returned, but that's yet to be seen. But for some damn reason, they're always alluring when I see them in the store. I just can't seem, whenever I see a new one, I'm like, oh, maybe that'll be awesome. We'll try that one. Don't want Chrome to remember my password. Sure, why not? We will call this the Nexus device. Save. Hello. There we go. Content not found. Was this page request cannot be displayed right now? Why not? Oh, there we go. Now it's working. And there you have it. It works. It seems actually very responsive. It's got a quad-core processor in it. Lot higher resolution screen than the Samsung. I think it's 1280 by 800. So it actually, the screen actually looks really, really nice. Down here at the bottom, it seems like it's fairly intuitive UI. I haven't installed any apps, obviously, because I've taken it just out of the box. But so far, it looks like everything works great. So we're going to go ahead and push the button on the side, put it to sleep. Let's get the rest of the stuff out of the box before we get too far off on a tangent. Okay, it looks like there's a tab here to lift this out. And we have a manual, the warranty and the quick start guide right here. We have what appears to be an Asus USB cable, complete with cellophane. Fairly high quality cable. Looks like the connector on the bottom is just the standard micro USB, which is really cool because that'll be compatible with just about all of my cables. I'm going to go ahead and plug it in and see if it starts charging here. Yeah, that looks like success to me. Yep, we are charging. Let's see what else we got in here. Okay, looks like we have a charging brick. No doubt charges it faster than just a regular USB port. They usually do. And that's it. So, very minimalistic. I mean, you don't get a lot of bells and whistles. Like the Samsung looked like it came with a carrying case. It had a keyboard and a mouse in the student edition we were looking at. It had a lot of bells and whistles. But this is pretty much, you know, you get a way to charge it, a way to transfer some data to it, and that's about it. Let's see, looking at the device here, the backside, I don't see any place for an expansion of memory. I got the 16 gig version. The Samsung did have memory expansion, but you know, I'm not sure. Maybe the back pops off. I really don't know. I'm gonna guess not though, just the way it looks. It's got just a front-facing camera right here. Doesn't have one on the back like an iPad. But honestly, I think the strength of this device is one, now I finally have a Windows phone, I have an Android device, and I have an Apple device, and I have a Windows device. So now I've got pretty much all of the competitors. So I can run absolutely everything, and I think that's cool. And I'm a software developer, so I like seeing, you know, what the other platforms have to offer, and you know what's going on in development. and Android development and OS X development, iOS development, Windows development, Android, all that stuff. They're quite different, and it's cool to kind of follow them and see how they grow. But so far, I love the way the device feels. I like that it actually fits in my pocket. I mean, granted, it's big. I mean, you're not going to want to put 80 other things in the pocket with it. But I could seriously put this in my pocket and cart it around with me, and it wouldn't be a problem. It's also small enough. Just throw it in the glove compartment of the car. The iPad's a little trickier to get in there, depending on the size of your glove compartment. And it's just kind of a neat middle device. And like I said, it's very easy to type on, which I think is really alluring for a lot of Facebooking and a lot of email and stuff. Typing on the iPad is a little bit of a pain in the ass. Don't get me wrong, I love the iPad, but I have to, I usually hook it to an external keyboard and type on the keyboard when I'm doing anything. This keyboard, it's very comfortable to hold you just interlace your fingers on the back, and your hands are right in the perfect position to type. On the iPad, you feel like they're spread out too far and like you have to reach to hit stuff. At least I do. But anyways, that is the unboxing portion of this video. Now, instead of me just firing it up and downloading a bunch of apps and using it, because I've had bad experiences with Android devices before, I am going to use it for a whole whopping day. And then we'll do a second part of this video. To you, it's just going to be a fade out and a fade in, just like usual. But I want to actually have a little bit of education behind me on this device, what I like, what I don't like, some comparisons to the iPad, and some other things before I do the second half of the video, because I know some of you guys like to watch my videos to get informed on new technology and stuff like that from an average guy's perspective, not from like the person who read every single piece of documentation on everything. I'm going to give it to you just straight, how I like the device, me personally, Jerry, aka Barnacules. Do I like this, or is it a piece of crap? And to do that, I got to use it for a while. Alright, so I'll be back in a flash. Hey, what's up guys? I'm back. Finally got a chance to play around with the Google Nexus 7. I used it since last night. Even took it to work with me today and was just roaming around and using it. As you can see right here. And just for some contrast, I brought my iPad. Now this is an iPad, I think it's the iPad 2. This isn't the one that has the Retina screen. So my comparison's not going to be based on that one. So some things may be different, but realistically I'm rating them basically on the OS and the usability of the unit, not so much on like the performance or the screen resolution. Although I will make some points about that. So the first thing you'll notice is just the size comparison. If you look at them side by side, let me turn them on here, kind of get an idea of the size difference. I mean, they're pretty radically different sizes. But the one thing I noticed today is this size has a lot of advantages. The biggest advantage I noticed was I never felt like I was suffering from having a smaller screen. Now on a phone, definitely. Like if I have a choice between my iPad or my iPhone, I grab my iPad when I'm laying in bed and just sitting back and I'm surfing the web and I'm doing things, because the bigger screen helps a lot. But honestly, with this size right here, I didn't even notice. After using it for a little while and just kind of holding it and playing with it, I didn't even notice it was any smaller than the iPad, if that makes sense. I mean, I was just as easily able to do things on it. So I'm going to have to say that having the smaller size actually is an advantage, because I didn't feel like it was really any smaller when I was using it, but it fits in my pocket. Today, I literally walked around all day with it in my front pocket right here. So, and I even had my iPhone in there on top of it. So the big advantage there was, I've never taken this thing to work. The only other time I've taken it anywhere is like in the car. I've used it in the car. I've used it on an airplane where I pulled it out of my bag, but I've never had it as available as a phone. This I found I could. The other point that I'd like to make is, after using the Nexus 7 for a while, I really like the new version of Android. I have to say, I came into this a little bit biased because I hate Android. I hated Android. Past tense. I've owned a Motorola Zoom for 24 hours, pitched it to the curb. Had another Android device, can't even remember what it was, but I ended up taking that back too. So this was my third Android device purchase, just because I'm a glutton for punishment and I like gadgets. Whenever something new and shiny comes out, I want to play with it. So we went and hunted this down, and it's unfortunate I didn't get the vlog posted. I'm still working on that, but the day where we actually went out and got this. I never meant to buy this. I never went out to buy this. This was just one of those random things that just popped up. ADHD took over. Me and my friend went on a quest and found a couple. But I'll try to get back on topic. Sorry guys, I'm a little out there tonight. But this guy, the Nexus 7, The one thing I noticed is Android's actually pretty damn powerful now, and it's stable. The last Android device I had, every third app I downloaded from the marketplace would crash, do weird stuff, disappear. The menus and stuff were really jerky. The scrolling wasn't smooth. They've fixed all that. Now it's actually, I mean, the device is actually really slick. You opened up the unlock screen, you just move this anywhere outside the circle, logs you right in. You've got widgets on your main screen. Like I have my Google inbox here. I have my Facebook up here at the top. I've got a clock. I've got this little awesome widget that tells me how many minutes it'll take me to get to work from my house. It gives me a little green light, and then in a little while it'll give me the travel times. I can configure my Bluetooth. I've got my apps down here in the corner. I can switch between pages. It's very, very intuitive. I even have an ebook on here for C# development. Really, really fluid. The text is very, very crisp. The screen is actually nice. I'd say the screen is better than on the iPad 2. Now, as far as the Retina display, I don't think there's going to be too much competition there. But it's very, very easy on the eyes. The scrolling is very, very good. It's very, very smooth. The other thing I like is multitasking. I love how all you do anywhere is you just push this little button and it's all your apps. You can see which screen they were on, you know, to go to. I was like, this is actually really killer. I don't like on the iPad how you have to like double tap the home key and then you just get the icons for your apps to go back to. I like that this shows you exactly where you left off in that app. It's really, really smooth. And then if you just hold your finger on it, you can just go over here and say remove from list and it closes the application. It's like, yeah, I don't want to play that anymore. Here, let's go ahead and get rid of that and clean up. So I thought that was neat. The other thing that I really liked about it was the marketplace. The marketplace on it is actually really slick. I bought this Swift key. Like this is another thing. Let me try to get my thoughts together here. Somebody recommended that I get this Swift key keyboard. It's a complete keyboard replacement for Android. You can't replace the keyboard on iPad. You can add stuff like the icons and the different languages and stuff, but you always have the iPad keyboard. This allows you to completely replace the keyboard with something that's pretty damn revolutionary. Like you can just type and just swipe your finger to go back on words or to go forward on words or to delete a word. There's gestures. It checks out your reading style by looking at all your posts on Facebook and Gmail, and it learns how you know what types of words you use and how you type, so that it can adapt to the autocorrect feature. And it's actually really, really cool. So I downloaded that. I thought it was cool. But at first, when I purchased it, I bought the paid edition for the phone. I didn't realize I bought the phone version. I didn't buy the tablet version. And they recommended, they said it would work, but they recommended the tablet version for obvious reasons. So a little button popped up here when I bought it that said refund. And I was like, what the hell is this? On iPad, you buy something, it's permanent. If you want a refund, you got to go through email and all kinds of shit if you make a mistake. On this, after using it for a few minutes, I was able to go back and just hit refund, and I get an email instantly. It says, oh, the money has been completely refunded to your account, and you're good. I was like, wow. Now that's cool right there. The other thing I noticed was all the apps that I use on the iPad seem to be on Android now. Last time I used an Android device, there was a lot of apps missing, but pretty much everything I used was on here. I was able to get Flipboard, I was able to get Facebook, I was able to get, you know, all my Gmail apps, obviously. But the marketplace is actually really slick now. It looks really good. The scrolling is really, really good. You get your top grossing. You can do searches. Like, I really like this. You can use voice everywhere. And we're on the iPad, the voice... well, actually, the iPad, I think, has native voice recognition, too, on the newer models. But the voice recognition on this thing sucks. On here, it's actually really good. Like, if I want to search for something, I can just click this little button. Angry Birds. There we go. Angry Birds. I thought that was really cool, and I also like how it works everywhere. So, like, if you just want to type stuff, like even up here, let's see. So, you know, I want to go search for something on the web. Man caves. And it usually gets it right. It even works when you do some long things. Find me a really cool man cave. There it is. Perfect. And you can do it for emails too. And if you need to correct something, I have this new fancy keyboard in here where you can literally just delete words by swiping it. You know, it's actually really cool how you do that. Or like when you're typing, can, hold on, let's see if I can do it here. As you're typing down here, and this is true for the keyboard that's in here, you get alternate stuff. Like I type Jerry, it has my email address. Over here it has Carrie. You can like select from the numerous little options. I was like, wow, this is actually really, really slick. And I still haven't even finished learning all the gestures for the Swift key. But I just thought it was cool you could change out the whole thing. Another thing is they have animated wallpapers. So if you go in here and you say, okay, I want live wallpaper. Let's see, give me bubbles. And you set the wallpaper. You get this awesome little animated wallpaper in the background. Even when you're scrolling around, see the little bubbles move with your fingers when you touch them? It's one of those like just little subtle touches that I really like. I also like that you can see all your applications, like they all have like their own little icons up in the bar here so you can see what's going on. I like the notifications are actually really, really slick on it. Usually has what you're looking for right under it as the first option when you go in there. Another thing I thought was cool is they had uTorrent. It's like how many mobile, options have this? I mean, Apple would never approve this for their marketplace. I thought that was pretty cool that they had this in there. So I found some stuff that wasn't on iPhone. But let's see what else we got. Oh, the widgets. So if you go into like the area where all your applications are, and you go over to widgets, and you can get more widgets too with your applications that you download. But these are all like the live widgets that you can put anywhere on your desk. They just look like Flipboard. Okay, I want to see what the latest thing with Flipboard is. So I can just grab it. I'm going to bring it over here onto this page. And now when I go back to my main page here, I have a live tile right here with my Flipboard information. It'll actually open a Flipboard. I'm not logged in, otherwise you would see like today's Flipboard topic. But if I want, I can just hold my finger on it. I can just move it somewhere else. And there's a lot of options for how you can move it. Like you can even on some of them, you can even resize it. So if you like click on it and hold your finger, you get this little resize thing, and you can make it as big or as little as you want. That's really cool. I don't see that on any of the other mobile operating systems. They kind of fix you into an option. Now, I would say that Android seems like it's a little bit more slated for power users, and I'd consider myself a power user, so I'm starting to have a preference for it. But my biggest complaints with the Android always was how slow and clunky it was, how unstable it was, and now it seems like they fixed all that. So I'm going to have to go ahead and say that the Google Nexus 7, especially for a $200 device, is freaking phenomenal. Even the games, if you open like Temple Run here, it's a 3D game and it runs just wicked smooth. Like, I wouldn't expect a device like this small to really run really well, but I mean, it looks like it's a good 30-60 frames per second, very, very smooth animation, even when you're playing the game. Here, let me even turn the audio up. It's actually a very, very responsive device. And don't expect me to play this any better than I play my computer games. But it's a really, really good device. I honestly don't have too many complaints, if any. I mean, my biggest complaint is, there's not a camera on the back. I'd rather have a camera on the back than on the front, because I usually use a device this small for taking pictures of stuff, not of myself. As far as the menus and stuff go, I really like the way that the announcement stuff's done. I really like the lock screen. I like that you can not only install applications and widgets, but you can also change out, very, very specific parts of the operating system, which iOS doesn't do. After using this all night, I kind of came back to my iPad here. Let me log in with my super secret code. And the first thing I noticed was, what configurability do you really have? You can move some of these guys down there. You have a very small number of items you can have on each screen, of course, unless you got the new iPad. It's probably going to have like an extra row. And I normally have more installed on this, but my son was playing with it last night, and he figured out the super secret magic sequence to like format it and get it back to factory default. But there's not much there. They got the notification thing, which is cool, but it's nowhere near in depth as the Android one. And it usually doesn't have what I want. The integrated features with the operating system, I can't change out the keyboard. There's only certain things I can do, like search right here. It's like, okay, I would like to talk to you. Why can't I search with my voice right there? Maybe you can on the new Retina, iPad 3 or above, but I sure as hell can't do it there. The screen is bright. But this looks like it has more pixels per inch. This is 1280 by 800. I don't know what the native resolution is on the iPad 2, but I can see pixels. I can tell you right now, it's not even close to Retina. This you don't. This is actually really, really slick. And the screen actually gets pretty bright on this. Let's see if I can actually show you on the camera here. I'm going to be honest with you, I forget which settings panel to go into to do that. I was farting around with some stuff and I lost the little default option that they had there. But you can make it incredibly bright. And so I was satisfied with the brightness. The speakers are actually more powerful on this than they are on the iPad. When I was like listening and watching a movie on here, I had Transformers Dark of the Moon. It actually sounded way better on this than anything ever has on my iPad. Now, I haven't tried it with headphones yet. I'll give that a try next. Had to restart the camera. I was running out of time. Another problem with DSLR cameras, they can only record a max size of 4 GB per clip, which is about 12 to 14 minutes. And I'm using that Magic Lantern software, which does a little bit better compression and stuff. But let me try to get back on track again. So for those of you guys that have been thinking about getting the Google Nexus, I would highly recommend it. The main reasons, it's a quad core, which like Samsung's offering that we were looking at that was $30 more at Costco yesterday, it was like $30 more. It was a dual core, slower proc, 1 gigahertz, had a lower resolution screen. It was only, I think it was 1024 by 600. And I couldn't figure out why the hell do they want $30 more for it. The screen didn't seem nearly as good. It felt way flimsier. This is a solid device. I'd say this is every bit as solid as an iPad. The weight's good too. It's a lot lighter. But I couldn't figure out why they were charging more. Well, it's because they had an SD expansion. Well, if you want an SD expansion, you can go that route. But honestly, I mean, it's got 16 gigabytes of storage. If you need more than 16 gigabytes of storage on this, you probably should just go get a laptop. But if you're one of the few people that actually do like having an SD slot and like expanding your memory that way, go for it. Go get the Samsung or go get one of the slightly more expensive, lesser featured models. But if you just want a turnkey solution out of the box that's just, really, really nice. I mean, I like that it has a standard cable so you can sync it using, the same cable as all your other devices. The battery life on it's phenomenal. I used it all night. I just put it back on the charger when I got home today, and I put it on the charger. It had 80% of the battery left, and I used it all night and a bunch today. So it's really, really good on battery. The Wi-Fi connectivity is awesome. The configuration of it's awesome. Like today I walked into my work, opened it up, tried to search for something, and of course it said, oh, you don't have a network connection. So all I did was pull down the little notification thing, and up at the top it said, oh, new network connections detected. So I clicked that, boom, there was the network. I logged in, entered my ID and password, and I was on. It actually was very, very smooth. With the iPad, it was a little more painful because you'd go in and just nothing would work, and you'd have to go into settings, Wi-Fi, and then you'd have to select a network, and you'd have to do all that. I thought this was just a way smoother solution. And the device, I mean, it's just got some cool little things that are kind of gimmicky. I mean, the widgets I wouldn't say are gimmicky at all. Down here, the menu, I thought it was kind of odd that Google has like its own little icon down here. I haven't played around with removing it. It looks like you can though. If you want to remove anything, you just hold it and drag it up to remove. And even this little search bar up here at the top, let's see if we can click on it here. Ooh, they don't let you move that one. Okay, well, I'm going to ding them for that because I'd like to put it at the bottom. It's permanent fixture to operating system, never mind. But there is a bar that you can bring out there other than the Google bar where you can resize it and move it around. But I like how you can arrange all your icons down here. You always have these little buttons down at the bottom of the screen, and their behavior slightly changed. Like the back button, if the keyboard's up, it makes the keyboard go away, and then it becomes the back button again. So you get a lot more multi-function out of these buttons, and I think it's nice having 3 buttons always at the bottom that give you some kind of functionality instead of the iPad's just one physical home button. I mean, it just seems better. It seems like a lot less clicks to get places and do things. Also, the Facebook application is way more stable on here than it is on the iPad. I crash the Facebook application constantly on the iPad. On this, I haven't crashed it once. To be honest, I have not crashed a single app. I've used Flipboard, Facebook, uTorrent, played Temple Run, used Google Earth, installed a bunch of widgets. I even uninstalled a couple of apps and installed them, bought the SwiftKey thing, been using the SwiftKey keyboard. I have not had a single thing crash on this since I've been using it. And I honestly can't say that for my iPad. But just so I don't sound like it's just the new shiny, I'm going to go back and just kind of be fair and say that the iPad is great at what it does. I absolutely love the iPad. If you want a device where you go get in bed, you just want to pull it off your nightstand, and that's primarily what I use it for. I can't even remember the last time it was in the man cave. But you pull it off the nightstand, open it up, go to your Facebook, check your Facebook, respond, go to your email, check your emails and respond. It's nice, the little icons, you know, show a little number on them that say, oh, you know, you have this many messages in this app or this many messages in this app. So it kind of draws your attention, if they're not in groups, mind you. It draws your attention to them so you know what to go and do. This was just a little bit better experience because the things I cared about, like Facebook, I just had a widget. And you just turn the device on and you already see all the new content and everything in the widget, and then you click on that content and then it brings up the full experience. I thought that was cool. But the iPad's really good. If you just want to pick it up and just have a simple path, push something and do something, this is it. So this is your mom and pa device here, definitely, because you're not going to want to like give them tech support on, oh my god, I accidentally drug my widget into the garbage can, how do I get it back? You're not going to really want to do that. This has too many options. But if you're a power user or aspire to be a power user, why would you not get this device? I mean, or even the 10.1 inch version. Comes in a lot more form factors too. But the iPad, it's really good at what it does, but the OS just feels really dated and super limited. And Apple, like usual, they really don't want you messing with the operating system, so you can't change the keyboard, you can't change the features of the operating system without hacking the crap out of it and doing homebrew and jailbreaking and stuff. This just lets you do it all pretty much out of the box. So the device I'm probably going to use more is this on the move, because I'm actually going to start making this one of the devices I just carry around with me all the time. I'm just going to throw it in my pocket and drag it around with me. But to be honest, when I'm at home, if I still have this close by, this is what I'm going to use. But if I'm just laying in my bed and I just want my dedicated device, this is probably what I'm going to use. So they definitely still both have a place in the man cave world here. But I'm going to say the price point for $200 though, this is just a phenomenal device. This is just, I'm not going to say it's an iPad killer, because they definitely are different in that the iPad is more user friendly. Android, it's come a long ways, trust me. But it's not completely user-friendly. You still find yourself kind of fumbling around trying to figure things out, where the iPad limits the way you do things. So it's pretty cut and dry how you do things on the iPad. This takes just a little bit more learning, but the return you get on that learning is actually pretty cool. And having a personalized device that gets you to what you need the quickest, I'm going to say Android honestly does. Between the widgets and being able to change out your keyboard and change out some of the operating system features with stuff that suits you better, this is definitely the more configurable device. So I think at this point I'm kind of sounding like a broken record, so I'm going to say I really like the Google Nexus 7. If you have the opportunity to buy one, or you've been thinking about buying one, you've been on the fence, trust me, go buy it. You're going to like it. If you don't like it, come back and comment and say that I'm an idiot and I don't know what the fuck I'm talking about, but you're going to like it. I guarantee you're going to like it. If you already have an iPad, don't bother. I mean, you don't have to spend the money. It's a cooler device, but if you already have an iPad, you already have a huge app marketplace. Just about all the stuff you're going to find on here, with a few exceptions, you're going to find on here. The marketplaces seem very similar, unless you're more of a person one thing I noticed is there's a Game Boy Advanced emulator you can download for this. Apple doesn't let you do any emulators. They actually have a lock on their marketplace for emulators. So if you want to play Game Boy games and stuff like that, you can actually do it on this right out of the box. Download the Game Boy Advanced emulator, put some ROMs on it. It just shows up as a storage device when you plug it in, and you're good to go. So if you're more the homebrew type and you like open source and you like stuff like that, yeah, go with Android. Android's the way to go. But if all you care about is getting your Facebook and getting your email and doing your Twitter and doing video chat and stuff like this, because this does have the better camera overall for like doing video chat and Skype, just stick with your iPad. You don't even have to blow another $200. But if you don't have either and you're just trying to figure out which one to go with, no brainer, $200. Why go buy a $500 iPad or $600 or whatever the hell options you get with it? Why go spend all that money when for $200 you can get something that's a little bit smaller? Now, granted, the screen, you might still think, oh my god, there's a huge difference in the screen. But when you're just laying in bed, I mean, dude, iPad, Nexus, same size. iPad, Nexus, I mean, it just depends on where you place it. Plus, it fits in your hand. You can type one-handed holding it. You can't do it with this. It's more comfortable to hold over time. So I'm gonna say if I had the choice to do it all over again, I didn't have an iPad and I didn't have a Nexus 7, I would get the Nexus 7, because I would look at it and I say, wow, that's $200, and it can do just about everything the iPad can do. Now, if you dig really deep, there might be some first-party titles by Electronic Arts and stuff that are only on iPad exclusive. So depending on what you do, the iPad might be the obvious source, but for software reasons, for app marketplace reasons, for operating system and configurability and personalization and actually feeling like, wow, this is actually a device that represents my lifestyle and my nerdiness, Nexus 7. All right, guys, I hope you enjoyed my unboxing and review of these two devices. If you'd like me to do another video and get more in depth on any of the features or anything, let me know. But I'd like this first video to just be my initial impressions after using it for a day and pitting it against my iPad. And I'd have to say it's just badass. So I hope you had a nerdgasm watching this. Run out and buy yourself a Nexus 7 if you don't already have one. If you guys have some other devices, like I've heard about the Kindle Fire and stuff like that, please post in the comments about your experience versus like the Nexus 7 or what you think about my review. And if you know of cool things that you can do on Android that I didn't talk about in this video, please by all means put them in the comments. A lot of the stuff that I learn is right from you guys. Alright, you guys have a great night or morning or afternoon or whenever the hell you're watching this, because I keep forgetting I'm like just talking into a camera. I am going to go get some dinner, sleep, and prepare for a nice weekend. Alright, take it easy guys. Hope you had a nerdgasm. Until next time. Hey guys, thanks for watching another one of my videos. I just wanted to let you guys know that the Microsoft Surface will be coming out here pretty soon, and that'll be Microsoft's offering to the tablet arena, and I think it's going to be a serious contender. So you might want to just hang on to your cash and see how that pans out. I absolutely will be getting one, and I will be doing a review of it, so if you want to hold on to your cash and wait for that review, it's probably not a bad idea. Take it easy, guys.